When anime fans speak of Cowboy Bebop, one element consistently rises above the rest: its unforgettable soundtrack. Crafted by the brilliant composer Yoko Kanno and performed by her band, the Seatbelts, the music of Cowboy Bebop has become as iconic as the show's space western aesthetic and its emotionally resonant characters. What's perhaps even more impressive than the genre-defying quality of the soundtrack is how quickly it was created, a feat that redefined the relationship between sound and animation in the industry. An unlikely beginning. Watanabe meets Kanno. The seeds of Cowboy Bebop's soundtrack were sown during the production of another anime, Macross Plus. It was here that director Shinichiro Watanabe first encountered Yoko Kanno. Though relatively unknown at the time, Kanno submitted a demo tape that displayed an astonishing range of styles, so much so that Watanabe questioned whether it was the work of a single person. Once she began working on Macross Plus, Watanabe realized he had found a true musical polymath. When Cowboy Bebop entered its early stages of development, Watanabe knew immediately that Kanno was the only person who could bring his vision to life, a soundtrack that fused jazz, blues, funk, and classical elements in a futuristic setting. He hired her early in the production process, an unusual move in an industry that typically scores music after animation is completed. No title, no story, just music. When Kanno began work on Cowboy Bebop, she had almost no information about the series. As she revealed in a 2020 interview, the anime didn't even have a finalized title, and only a few rough character sketches existed. With barely any story to reference, Kanno had to compose based on abstract concepts and intuition. But this unusual creative freedom proved to be an asset. Rather than following the visuals, Cowboy Bebop flipped the traditional animation process. The music came first. Kanno composed the core themes and tracks before most of the episodes had been written, and the animation was later shaped to match the energy and rhythms of the music. This reverse workflow allowed Kanno's eclectic, explosive soundtrack to breathe and take center stage, setting the tone for the entire series. Jazz, jam sessions, and lightning speed. One of the most remarkable aspects of Kanno's work was the sheer speed at which she operated. In her interview with Forbes, she noted that most of the soundtrack was completed while only 6 or 7 episodes of the show had even been written. Her band, the Seatbelts, would often record live, giving the music a raw, improvisational energy that captured the soul of jazz. Steve Conti, the English-language vocalist for several Cowboy Bebop tracks, recalled in a separate interview that his sessions with Kanno moved unusually fast. She recorded in rapid bursts and at times would travel back and forth just to capture specific performances. Unlike the typical recording process where singers do multiple takes in isolation, Kanno preferred recording live with a band, infusing every track with the spontaneity of a real jam session. A soundtrack that transcended anime. From the hard-hitting opening, Tank, to the melancholic Blue and the sultry, the real folk blues, the music of Cowboy Bebop transcends its medium. Critics have hailed it as one of the greatest soundtracks in television history, animated or otherwise. Each track became a character in its own right, providing emotional depth, tension, and atmosphere to the show's spacefaring adventures and noir undertones. This success is a testament not only to Kanno's musical genius, but also to the unprecedented creative freedom she was granted. Instead of being relegated to the background, the music of Cowboy Bebop became the show's beating heart, vibrant, fearless, and unforgettable. Bebop's lasting impact. Cowboy Bebop's approach to music and storytelling changed the anime landscape. It proved that soundtracks could be more than just accompaniments; they could lead the creative process. Kanno's one-year whirlwind of jazz, funk, and classical magic showed what could happen when a composer is trusted to build the foundation of a series. Over 25 years later, Cowboy Bebop continues to influence anime, film, and video game sound design. And while the series ended long ago, its music plays on, inspiring new generations of artists and fans who still believe in rhythm, in melody, and in the timeless cool of the bebop.